Did I scare you? Well, you better get your fucking big boy pants on if that scared you, because today we will be going over the most haunted places in every state. Part 4. This is 4 out of 5. So get your fucking big boy pants on, because this one is going to be pretty fucking spooky. Anyway, let's get into number 431, New Mexico. The Dawson Cemetery, located near the former mining town of Dawson, New Mexico, stands as a solemn reminder of a once thriving coal mining commodity. Founded in the early 1900s by the Phelps Dodge Corporation, Dawson grew rapidly as workers from around the world came seeking jobs in the booming coal industry. At its height, the town supported thousands of residents and featured schools, stores, churches, and other amenities. However, the town's history was marred by two devastating mining disasters. In 1913, an explosion in mine number 2 killed 263 miners, and in 1923, another explosion in mine number 1 claimed the lives of 121 more. These were among the deadliest mining accidents in U.S. history. Most of the victims were laid to rest in Dawson Cemetery, where their graves are marked with white iron crosses that still stand today. The cemetery has become a symbol of both tragedy and remembrance, preserving the memory of those who lived and died in Dawson. After the mines closed in 1950s, the town was dismantled and largely disappeared, but the cemetery remains intact. Today it is the most visited by descendants, historians, and travelers, serving as a powerful testament to the human cost of early industrial labor and the resilience of a community that once called Dawson their home. The landmark theater in Syracuse, New York, opened in 1928 as a low-state theater, a lavish movie palace designed by renowned architect Thomas W. Lamb. With nearly 3,000 seats, it featured ornate architecture, gilded decor, and hand-painted murals, making it one of the grandest theaters of its time. After decades of film and vaudeville performances, the theater fell into decline and faced demolition in the 1970s. A local preservation group, SALT, saved the restored the venue, leading to its placement on the National Register of Historic Places in 1976. Today, the landmark hosts Broadway tours, concerts, and comedy acts following a major renovation in 2011. Though updated for modern performances, the theatre retains its original elegance, standing as a treasured symbol of Syracuse's cultural heritage. The Biltmore estate in Asheville, North Carolina is widely regarded as the most haunted location in the state. Built in the 1890s by George Washington Vanderbilt II, this massive 250-room mansion has long been associated with ghostly legends and unexplained activity. Visitors and staff have reported disembodied voices, particularly in the library, where George and his wife Edith are said to be heard whispering. The now drained indoor swimming pool is another hotspot, with claims of phantom splashing, laughter, and sudden chills. Others speak of cold spots, flickering light, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched when no one else is around. Although the estate does not promote these tales, the volume and consistency of reports have earned it a strong reputation among the paranormal enthusiast. With its grand, shadowy halls and rich history, the Biltmore stands not only as an architectural masterpiece, but also as a magnet for mysterious and supernatural. Tucked away in the Churchill Mountains near Dunseth, Sanhaven Sanatorium is widely regarded as North Dakota's most haunted location. Originally opened in the early 1900s to treat tuberculosis patients, the facility later became a mental institution. Thousands passed through its doors and many never left. After it was shut down in the 1980s, the once bustling complex fell into eerie disrepair, leaving behind decaying buildings, long-forgotten medical equipment, and stories that continue to chill visitors to this day. Those brave enough to explore the site have reported phantom voices, shadowy figures, and sudden drops in temperature in empty rooms. Some claim to hear whispers echoing through the halls, while others speak of being watched by unseen eyes. One of the most disturbing legends involves the ghost of a child wandering the grounds. The building's tragic past was compounded by the death of a teenager in 2001 who fell through a floor while exploring the ruins. Today, Sanhaven stands as a haunting monument to suffering, illness, and mystery. Its silence broken only by the ghost said to roam its halls. Tell them boys hop off my dick, use a funky ass bitch. Oh, sorry guys, I was just listening to Tyler the Creator's new album. Well, anyway, the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio is considered the most haunted location on the state and not one of the most chilling in the entire country. Opened in 1896, the massive Gothic-style prison was originally built to reform young, non-violent offenders. Over time, however, it became a place of suffering, violence, and overcrowding. Inmates endured brutal conditions and many died inside the prison, some from disease, others from suicide and murder. After it closed in 1990, the decaying cell blocks and crumbling corridors took on an even darker atmosphere. Its infamy only grew after serving as the filming location for The Shawshank Redemption, bringing even more attention to its haunted reputation. Visitors today report disembodied voices, cold spots, and sightings of shadowy figures throughout the prison, particularly in the solitary confinement wing in the basement, where the energy is said to be especially oppressive. Paranormal investigators claim to have captured eerie EVPs, flickering lights, and full-body apparitions. Some even say they've been touched or grabbed by unseen forces. With its tragic past and chilling energy, the Ohio State Reformatory stands as a terrifying monument to a darker chapter in Ohio's history, and a must-visit for ghost hunters and brave explorers alike. The Skirvin Hotel in Oklahoma City is not just a historical landmark, it's also considered the most haunted place in Oklahoma. Built in 1911, the luxury hotel quickly became a symbol of elegance, hosting politicians, athletes, and celebrities. But behind its polished facade lies a chilling legend. According to local law, a young maid named Aphie became pregnant after an affair with the hotel's founder, W.B. Skirvin. To avoid scandal, she was allegedly rocked in a room on the 10th floor. Well, overcome with despair, she jumped to her death, baby in arms. Since then, guests and employees have reported ghostly cries, unexplained noises, and phantom footsteps, especially around that floor. Some visitors claim to see a woman's apparition or hear a baby crying in the night. Others have experienced strange sensations, such as being touched or watched, with male guests in particular reporting flirtatious whispers from an unseen presence. Even professional athletes, including NBA players, have been so unnerved by their experiences at the Skirvin Hotel that they've asked not to stay there again. Still operating as a high-end Hilton hotel, the Skirvin blends grandeur with ghost stories, making it a must-visit for both travelers and paranormal thrill-seekers alike. Tucked deep in the Siskiyou Mountains of southern Oregon, the Oregon Cave Chateau in Cave Junction is known not only for its rust-chic 1930s charm, but also for its chilling paranormal reputation. Perched beside the entrance to Oregon Caves, this six-story wooden lodge has become the center of ghostly tales, especially surrounding room 310, where guests frequently report whispers, cold spots, and flickering lights. The most talked-about spirit is a woman named Elizabeth, believed to be the heartbroken bride who took her life in the chateau. Her ghost is said to silently drift through the upper floors, sometimes glimpsed in a pale gown before vanishing into Chateau. Staff and visitors alike have described strange occurrences throughout the building: disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and vintage music playing from nowhere, phones ring in empty rooms, and TVs turn on without explanation. Some believe the lodge's location above the ancient Winding Orden caves adds to its spectral energy, creating a perfect storm for lingering spirits. Whether it's the isolation, the history, or something truly otherworldly, the Chateau remains one of Oregon's most atmospheric and haunted destinations. Hidden in the woods of Spring City, Pennsylvania, the crumbling remains of Pennhurst State School and Hospital loom like a decaying monument to a dark past and countless chilling encounters. Originally opened in 1908 as a state-run institution for the mentally and physically disabled, Pennhurst quickly became notorious for abuse, overcrowding, and inhumane conditions. After decades of neglect and public scandal, the facility was finally shut down in 1987, kinda like the Bite of 87. Since then, stories of ghostly whispers, shadowy figures, and violent injury have surrounded the site, with paranormal investigators calling it one of the most haunted places in America. Visitors have reported hearing screams echoing through the empty hallways, feeling unseen hands tug at their clothes, and seeing full-bodied apparitions in the abandoned ward, particularly active in the underground tunnel system where staff once transported patients out of public view, now said to be a hotspot of intense spiritual activity, whether drawn by tragedy, suffering, or something deeper. Whatever lingers at Pennhurst State's unwilling to rest. Perched along the rocky coastline of Newport, Rhode Island, Seaview Terrace, also known many as the Carey Mansion, is a grand Gothic revival mansion with a haunted reputation as striking as its architecture. Built in the early 1900s and featured famously as the exterior for the cult classic Dark Shadows, the mansion is steeped in eerie tales. Visitors and former residents have reported ghostly figures drifting through the halls, cold spots, and otherwise warm rooms, and the sounds of distant footsteps echoing when no one else is around. Some even claim to hear a woman's voice softly singing in the dead of night, believed to be the former lady of the house who never truly left. With its looming towers, shadowed corridors, and storied past, Seaview Terrace naturally invites speculation about what lingers behind its dark wood paneling and stained glass. The mansion's blend of historical tragedy, cinematic legacy, and architectural eeriness make it one of Rhode Island's most compelling haunted sites. Whether it's residual energy from its past inhabitants, or the echo of fictional horrors brought to life, Seaview Terrace remains a chilling chapter in Newport's paranormal history. The South Carolina Lunatic Asylum in Columbia, is that right? One of the oldest mental health institutions in the United States, carries a heavy and haunted legacy. Built in the 1820s and opened in 1828, the massive granite structure known as the Mills Building housed thousands of patients over the decades, many of whom suffered under outdated and cruel treatments. As the building aged and horror stories of neglect surfaced, the asylum developed a chilling reputation. Today, long after its closure, tales of ghostly apparitions, disembodied screams, and shadowy figures lurking in corners have become common among urban explorers and paranormal investigators. Visitors claim to hear doors slamming on their own, whispering voices echoing through the empty wards, and feel cold spots in rooms that were once used for confinement and electroshock therapy. Some say the spirits of former patients still roam the halls, trapped in the place where they endured years of pain and isolation. Whether stirred by history or haunted by the past, the South Carolina Lunatic Asylum remains a bone-chilling monument to a time when mental illness was misunderstood and compassion often came too late.